Once upon a time, in a small nursery filled with toys, there was a stuffed rabbit made of velveteen. He had a soft, plush body, a pair of button eyes, and floppy ears. The Velveteen Rabbit was given to a young boy as a Christmas gift, but initially he was overlooked in favor of more modern and expensive toys, like mechanical trains and tin soldiers. The other toys in the nursery boasted about their mechanical parts and fancy features. The Velveteen Rabbit, feeling plain and unremarkable, began to wonder what it truly meant to be a real toy. One day, he asked the old wise Skin Horse, who had lived in the nursery longer than any other toy, "What does it mean to be real?" "Real isn't how you're made," the Skin Horse replied. "It's something that happens when a child loves you for a long, long time. When you're loved, you become real." "Does it hurt?" asked the Velveteen Rabbit. "Sometimes," said the Skin Horse, "but when you are real, it doesn't matter if you are worn or torn, because you are loved." The Velveteen Rabbit thought about this often. Time passed, and one day the boy couldn't find his favorite toy. Desperate for comfort, he reached for the Velveteen Rabbit. From that moment on, the boy and the Velveteen Rabbit became inseparable. The boy took the rabbit everywhere, to the garden, to the park, and even to bed at night. The Velveteen Rabbit began to wear out, with his fur becoming shabby and his seams loosening, but he didn't mind because he was loved. One day, the boy fell ill with scarlet fever. The Velveteen Rabbit stayed by his side, providing comfort as the boy battled the sickness. When the boy finally recovered, the doctor told the family that everything the boy had come into contact with during his illness needed to be burned to prevent the spread of the disease. This included the Velveteen Rabbit. The boy was heartbroken, but his mother assured him that he could get a new rabbit. The Velveteen Rabbit was left in a bag outside with other things to be destroyed. Alone and afraid, he thought about all the happy times he had spent with the boy. He was now too worn and shabby to be loved by anyone else, and the thought made him very sad. As he lay there, a magical thing happened. A tear fell from the Velveteen Rabbit's eye, and where it touched the ground, a beautiful flower sprouted. Out of the flower emerged the nursery magic fairy. She told the Velveteen Rabbit that because he had been loved so deeply by the boy, he had become real, not just to the boy, but truly real. The fairy kissed him on the nose, and suddenly, the Velveteen Rabbit found himself hopping around on all fours. He had become a real living rabbit. The Velveteen Rabbit was taken to a beautiful forest, where he joined other real rabbits. He could hop and play like they did, and he was no longer afraid of being worn out or He was free and happy. Sometime later, the boy, who had fully recovered, went to the garden to play. He noticed a rabbit that looked oddly familiar, with soft brown fur and bright eyes. The rabbit looked at the boy and hopped away, but the boy felt a sense of recognition, as if he had seen this rabbit before. Though he didn't know it, the Velveteen Rabbit had returned to see the boy one last time, now as a real rabbit, living in the wild. The boy smiled, remembering his old Velveteen Rabbit fondly, and went back to his games. And so, the Velveteen Rabbit lived happily ever after, loved and real forever.